Hello, this is wmpyr. For today's video, I want to talk about dirty boxing. And the reason why I was compelled to do this video is because just a little while ago, I saw a YouTube video with a martial arts instructor. He was talking about dirty boxing. And this is pretty much what he said. This guy is coming to punch me, right? And in dirty boxing, we do destructions, okay, which basically comes from the same concept as defang the snake, which is attack the attack. So when they're attacking me, I attack the weapon. I attack their hand, their arm, what's wielding the weapon, right? But this is dirty boxing, so they're empty-handed. They're empty-handed, boom, and I attack them right here, which should crush their fingers, or I hit him in the nerve, the funny bone right here, which can numb the arm, you know, or I could hit him right here on the backside of the palm right here, which can cause a lot of pain. You know, so I'm doing attacks essentially on their arm that's attacking me, right? Because that's coming to me. Closest target kind of stuff, right? So boom, I do that stuff, and his point was that stuff in real life doesn't work because, yeah, it can cause pain, but in a real life situation, in a real fight, in a real altercation, you ignore pain. You just keep going. Adrenaline and all that stuff. So this dude, it's not going to stop this guy. Okay, so he's going to keep attacking me. Therefore, there is no effect here. It's not going to go, even though they teach this, they teach, boom, you hit him on the nerve, his arm's going to go numb, and he can't use his arm anymore, and now I'm fighting somebody with only one arm. It sounds great in textbook form, but he's saying that doesn't happen in real life. Now, personally, I've experienced both sides. Okay, I've experienced where I defanged the snake, and this dude was in pain and fell down, and I've also experienced where I did it, and this dude just looked at me like, what the hell was that? You know, and I did it multiple times and it was zero effect. So exactly what this guy's talking about. What those came from sparring, from my sparring, and what that taught me was that there's no guarantee. You can't rely on that. So personally, I really don't like it when teachers teach it like, okay, you're gonna do this, and then boom, that's gonna break the arm. He throws a punch, you parry it, and bam, you hit him in the nose, and his nose is going to break and go into his brain, and he's going to die. You know, they make it sound so easy. They make it sound like it's automatic, and I really dislike that because I think you're giving the wrong kind of impression. You're giving a false sense of expectations. These are, to me, the wrong expectations to have. Okay, so then what that instructor said, so I agree with that instructor where the percentage, or I'll even say the percentage of something like that happening is very low. So I'm saying that there is a chance that that could happen. That dude just said it doesn't work, period. But I'm saying there might be a chance because I actually did it too, where the person just did fall in pain when we were full contact sparring, okay? So I will say that, but the percentage is very, very low. So you know, when you teach this kind of stuff, I would be very, very careful about that, you know, what to expect. So when I'm telling you what to expect is that expect it to affect the guy nothing, like no effect, you know. So that's the way I would go about it. To me, I do that with every technique, even a submission, okay? I could do the submission, and it may not work on the guy at all. Some dudes, you know, I've had him in heel hooks. It was perfect, but, you know, I don't know what it was. This dude was just flexible, or he was just very strong tendons, or I don't know what. I could not finish the guy, you know. So it happens, is all I'm saying. Now, anyway, if we know that this is unreliable, right? To defang the snake is unreliable, then he was saying, don't do it. He was saying, if this guy's punching me, parry, don't hit him on the arm because you know that's not going to work. Just hit him in the face. That was his point, okay? And for me, this is where I strongly disagree with him. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against cross-training with boxing. I absolutely recommend it, and I do it to this day, all right? But the reason why I would still do this instead of do that. So I'm still doing Filipino martial arts, even though I know that if I do this, it's probably not going to hurt him at all. I'm doing this because while I do this, he's not hitting me, at least not with this arm. So I successfully defended. So I'm using this as defense. So my goal worked in this case. If my goal was I do this and his arm is now useless, then that probably won't work. So because the expectations are wrong, you see. But if I'm using this boom to get out of the way and not get hit by his punch, then that's a more doable, a much higher percentage, a much better expectation. So that's why I did it. Now, so if I do it, okay, you got out of the way, wmpyr, that's great, but isn't it better if you just went boom like this and just did regular boxing? Well, I don't want to do regular boxing against a guy who might be a boxer or who might be a better boxer than me, okay? I've trained in boxing, but I would never be so arrogant or dumb enough to say, I'm a boxer and think that I'm a boxer, because I'm not, right? So if this guy's a fan of MMA, he's had a little bit of training, you know, I don't want to play into his strengths. So let's say I landed that. Let's say I went boom right here and bam, I landed, you know, a beautiful counter shot in boxing against this guy using a boxing technique. I actually, for that moment, outboxed the boxer, right? This guy might go, oh, you want to box, huh? All right, let's box now. I'm going to show you what boxing is about. Doesn't that sound like I pumped him up? I fired him up. I made him even stronger. And that's the last thing I want. I want to diffuse. I want the opposite. So if he throws a punch and I go boom, I do that. I hit him on the arm. And even though it didn't make his arm numb, chances are there's two very common reactions. Number one is, what the hell is that? So confusion. And the other one is, right when I did it, bam, like this, he's going to go, that doesn't work. I know you hit me in the arm, and it didn't hurt at all. So then he's underestimating me. I'd rather have him underestimate me or be confused, either or both. I'd rather have that reaction than, oh, you want to box? All right, bring it. Let's box. Come on, right here. You know, because that sounds like he's stronger. He's mentally, now he's ready for a fight. I'd rather have him weaker mentally. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. It's not just always about the goal. The reason why I'm also doing this is because this is what I'm comfortable with. In my case, that is, you know, Filipino martial arts is my main thing, so I'm comfortable there. And if I can do it, I'd rather do that than, you know, something that they're more comfortable with. And I cross-train in boxing and kickboxing so that I know what they're going to try to do to me. I'll have an idea. But then if I use Filipino martial arts against them, they're going to be less knowledgeable about what I'm doing to them. So that gives me an advantage. Just on paper, just that alone gives me a little bit of an advantage. And believe me, I'm going to want as many of the advantages as I can. So once again, I hope this makes sense to you guys. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.